another response video to whatever that guy was. Anyway, he did a couple of video responses that were just garbage. I didn't bother with those, but he's pretending like he wants to get a little serious, so we'll see. But it's this Gaia crap. It doesn't go anywhere, and this idea that somehow intelligence is, on a mission of its own, which is bullshit. So it's a subject worth banging at some more. On the conference report thing, the good news is he basically said that he agrees with what I was saying in my response to him, which is good. The bad news is we're going to probably disagree forever about whose fault the misunderstanding that takes place apparently is. I mean, I think he thinks he was perfectly clear, and that ain't going to work. I just don't get it. It's not that much effort to say, those little qualifying statements in a video, and I just don't know how I could listen to a whole 10 minutes of video and not figure out the guy saying religion sucks. I mean, it really should have been more apparent, but whatever. Ugh. Till next time on that crap. Anyway, to this guy, come on, you do work, please play the video, please. Okay, looks like it's gonna play it.
So I'm redoing my response because it's just not really my style to, I guess, critique somebody's arguments by calling them a fucktard and just stating whatever's in my head is true without really backing it up whatsoever. I didn't really expect it from a rationalist, I guess. So I had just woken up and it threw me for a loop. So
I don't even know what that means. So is that some other way to say asshole? He's not a rationalist, or you're not a rationalist, or it was my fault that I drove you to rub your nipples as a rational response to anything? Somebody calls you fucktard and you have to rub your nipples? I'm sorry. This is all just bullshit. If you can't handle little tiny insults, then just forget about it, okay? We don't need to converse.
This one should be maybe a little bit more coherent for you people that were misunderstanding me a bit.
I mean, frogs, like alien frogs, aren't going to build spaceships and fly across the galaxy, right? So you're saying it.
No, you're making these huge assumptions about alien intelligence and stuff, and they shit. There's
very valid assumptions. What I was pointing out in that clip that you've kind of broken now, but anyway, is that dumb animals don't fly through the galaxy. Smart animals do. Okay, so there, it's already qualified. You have to have technical knowledge of how the universe works. So you're going to have to know chemistry and physics and a lot of other stuff to be able to move around in the universe. That's all I was saying, is that you would have to have more than just your silly desires and a hunger for mosquitoes to be, visiting other planets. You're a little more qualified than a frog.
Let's say they went through everything on our planet and brought themselves to the brink of a crisis like we are now. And it led to a huge shift in their thinking and their understanding.
Yeah, well, whatever. A huge shift to what? No penises anymore because penises are troublesome? I mean, what's the shift going to be? I mean, human beings have always been one thing, little desire machines that scheme to satisfy their desires. So they're going to become something else. And their desire is going to be to what? Go pet Mars? They're going to go to Mars so they can pet the Earth Mars. I mean, the Mother Mars, because Mars is also a Gaia. Mars is also trying to eke out a living in the universe. I mean, it's taking in energy and giving it out. And so it's an organism. Like Jupiter, you got a little spot on it. Come on.
An understanding of the Earth as an organism, an understanding of the connections that they have between each other and the other animals that they spawn from and with and within. So, no.
But does that understanding include recognition of biology, consumption and reproduction, the origins of life on Earth, little reproducing machines, that's all they were? Does it understand the difference between a living machine that we call life because it reproduces, and one of those little living machines that has a central nervous system and sentience? Or are you one of these crackpots who claim that matter feels, that atoms feel, that they want to do things? go to like Walmart and buy a hammer or something.
You don't get to just say, oh, a bunch of alien frogs, and this is the way it is. You don't get to. You call me a dishonest fucktard, and then you just sit here and go, yeah, aliens are this way. They're all just like me.
Yeah, well, I never said that, but what I said is there's rules to intelligence, and intelligence seeks the truth. That's what I said. Is that just like me? No, I was making an argument that that's what intelligence will do. It will seek the truth. Unless it has something corrupting its intelligence, that's what its objective is going to be, is the truth. And it's going to do things that are very rational. It only exists in us as a mechanism to help us manage this thing called desire, right? I mean, that's why we have it, is that it's a tool that we use. And so it has to have a mission, and the mission is going to be provided by some desire organism. And if you're saying that intelligence will grow out of that desire organism's mission and have its own mission, what is that mission going to be besides evaluating circumstances and defining solutions to problems? That's what intelligence is good at. That's what it does. It defines the truth, and it prescribes solutions.
Alien intelligence wouldn't be able to differentiate. They would just say, oh, that's complicated star stuff. We don't.
No, I didn't say they wouldn't be able to differentiate. I'm saying they can operate on more than one level, which you can.
Yes, you did. Okay, you didn't play the whole clip, right? You didn't play your side of the argument, which was you basically said, well, they'll think they only see the universe on the photon level or some other level or some other kind of bullshit, and it was just that bullshit. Okay, subatomic particle is not going to have a central nervous system. It doesn't have the matter to build one, so it's got to be on our level or bigger. That this thinking thing is possible. So it's a bullshit argument. Intelligence isn't going to live on some other dimension, some other material dimension. This is the one where it works. This is the one that has the DNA molecule.
You are just star stuff. You are also separate from me. You are also... You argue against all this stuff, and then you go back and you go, the Earth is basically just one organism. It started from one piece of DNA. And then you're not...
Oh, please. The Earth isn't a piece of DNA. Like I said, the Earth is no more functional as a planet than Saturn or Venus or Mars or any of the other planets that are doing just fine without the fungus of life growing on their skin. It's just nonsense. We're as essential to the Earth as, one of these hairs I could pull off of my head. That's how much we mean to the planet Earth.
Not willing to look at all of us as one organism that emerged from the Earth. I'll put a link in the thing that looks like life started. If you sequence the, I think it was the proton pumps. Now I might be way off, but there's a lot of evidence.
Oh, he's going to post all kinds of links all over the place. Jesus Christ, what a pile of crap. Who cares? I don't give a fuck. I know life started with chemistry. That's all I need to know. Chemistry that acquired the ability to reproduce. Or is there some dispute there? Is that a statement you can accept or not? Or are you going to reject it? It started with crude chemistry that couldn't reproduce. Bingo, one day, all of a sudden, chemistry that could reproduce. And that little reproducing piece of chemistry is the original atom. Without the Eve, or whatever, the Eve without the atom, but whatever, it's the beginning, and everything else is related to that one piece of chemistry. Everything else is a consequence of its existence. Is there some other truth?
It looks like life didn't start in a phospholipid bilayer. It started in these little nooks and crannies of rocks. So the rocks...
Well, it obviously started in a place that was a completely different atmosphere than this one, number one. And number two, by all evidence, it only started in one crevice, in one place. We are ancestor to one piece of living material. One. Didn't happen all over the friggin' place. There aren't opposite or different blueprints. It's all one DNA molecule.
It's literally spawned the one thing of life, and life is almost like it's mobile life cycle of the planet.
Damn, battery's dead. Look, why even use the word life anyway anymore? Because people are obviously abusing it so much. There's the life that is the crude stuff. You know, the reproducing little machines, no nervous system, no sentience. Who the hell cares? They can do whatever the hell they want. They can fly. They can bang into. I don't care what the hell they do. They're inconsequential as fucking rocks. They don't mean anything. And then there's this thing, sentient life, feeling life forms. Now, all of a sudden, things like mortality and what happens to them and their welfare, all these words mean something now. And that kind of life means something. And so it's really disappointing that we are stuck with this old vocabulary that doesn't make a clear distinction between just plainly reproducing chemistry, which is life,